Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be going over 5 things I truly hope happen in the upcoming patch, right? So hopefully that's going to be coming in the next few weeks. Obviously, I am not Valve, I'm not IceFrog. I don't know when the next patch is going to be, but I certainly hope it's going to be very, very soon. So I want to discuss, have a little bit of fun with you guys, and talk about in the comments as well as within this video what I hope will happen in the next patch. Because yes, I do think Dota is in a good spot. You might have thought I was about to say in a bad spot. No, I actually like the current state of Dota for the most part. I do. I really don't have too many gripes with the game as a whole. You might have been hoping that this is some sort of hate video. I hate Valve. Valve is the worst. But no, I mean, honestly, like, there are some things I would change, but I think Dota's pretty solid right now. I'm enjoying the game. I'm chill with ranked, you know? And so, yeah, I just want to say that. But all right, and now I want to tell you guys a little bit about Dota Plus from Overwolf. This is a free stats app you guys can download right now that's going to show you your stats for the last 3 months. So if you want to know your games played, your MMR, your win rate, your XPM, your GPM, all of these things you need to track to know how well you're doing and what you need to change to gain MMR, you can get for absolutely free. On top of that, the biggest reason why you need to download Dota Plus, at least for me, is the ban suggestions. Basically, it tells you what the enemy team is good at. It tells you their best heroes, what they've been winning with. You just ban it. You might be wondering why your good heroes, why your best heroes keep getting banned. It's because of Dota Plus. The enemy team is using it and banning out your best heroes. So go download Dota Plus right now, and I'll see you guys there. First thing I want to talk about, one thing I think really needs to be changed, is Wraith Pact needs a massive nerf. So in particular, this item nerfs the offlane hero pool, and I think it's a big problem for Dota because as more and more players begin to realize that this item is a little bit too good, the more ranked games will become a little bit too linear. Now, I'm not going to come out here and tell you guys, oh, the only way to play Dota right now, the only way to win is with a Wraith Pact. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. You know, especially the lower MMR you go, the weirder things are, and so I'm not going to tell you that's the case, but I definitely will tell you the case. If you get really good at a hero like Visage, for instance, right, and you learn how to just control an area with the hero, farm up your level 12, get your Wraith Pact, get your pipe, and then do those like 5-man fights, you know, because in your average pub, people group up like crazy, right? They group up like crazy. They just 5-man fight. Wraith Pact is the fastest broken ass timing you can get in Dota right now, and there's no way around that, right? There's no argument around that. This item is just insane. 30% damage reduction that also does 30 damage per second. Like, this item's nuts, and it's not like the build-up's bad. It's an item that gives you mana regen, armor, a little bit of damage, right? Vlad Zora to your team, HP, mana pool. It's just like, I don't know, it's just too good of an item. It just gives you everything you want. Like, anytime I'm playing Visage and Brood and Tidehunter and I buy this item, I'm like, I'm so damn tanky. Not just because I can put down this stupid totem that just blocks all the damage, but I think it limits the hero pool. I've been really having a hard time playing heroes like Furion as of late, or really anything that doesn't buy Wraith Pact, and it's not because you, once again, you can win games. It just makes the hero pool and the game feel a little bit limited, especially if you play against this item. You're like, oh, if we don't have a Wraith Pact counter, like some Snapfire or something, which isn't even necessarily that much of a counter, the game just becomes so unfun. So I hope they at least nerf the item. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a removal of the item. I personally don't love the item. I really will say. I think these unit heroes can be good without having the best item in the game. Like, I think heroes like Visage and Tidehunter and Enigma all are playable, but they're just too good. They're too reliable with this item, right? They're always going to be useful every game. All right, the second one is something that, you know, so I'm a very farm-oriented player, guys. Like, when I load up into a ranked game of Dota, 90% of the game, I'm going to be hitting creeps, right? And that's not fully true. Like, sometimes I'm shifting the map, sometimes I'm smoking, some games I'm playing offlane Tusk and I'm not hitting many creeps at all. You know what I mean? Like, of course there's exceptions to this, but in most games I'm hitting creeps, and there's a good reason for that, right? And it's not the whole game, but I'm picking and choosing fights, and then right when the fight ends, like, let's say I take a 5-on-5, right after the fight ends, my brain, I've trained it so hard to immediately focus my attention on where is the nearby creep wave. Is it mid? Is it top? Is it bottom? Where is it? What's the close one to me? Is there none? Okay, I'll take some neutral camps. I'm so actively good at finding the open wave because that's how you win Dota right now. Watch the Tundra games. That's not the exact only way. There's a million things you got to do, but you get the point. That's like a large basis of it. Keep the map open. Play, you know, a good portion of the map, especially if your hero can do that and can farm fast, like a Beast or a Visage, or, you know, a hard carry like Lifesteal, or, you know, whatever it is, Terrorblade, Naga. Naga is probably the big one for the patch that really takes space. But you're really incentivized to farm. And honestly, killing supports in the mid game is so pointless. They don't give any gold. It's just pointless. Like, it's like 200 gold, and there's like no way around that. And so if you were to push out a creep wave, it's like the same thing as killing the CM. Now you might be like, oh, but if I kill CM, she can't fight back. And it's like, yeah, but she's gonna respawn in 28 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not, the reward is just not enough most of the time. That's why a big strategy in high MMR Dota is you have to play greedy, right? And it incentivizes dodging each other. And by the way, sometimes people see this as a complaint. I love the farm game of Dota. I think it's a beautiful game. Like, some people are like, because honestly, the average player likes to fight. It's like enjoyable. That's what they're used to doing. That's what they think the game is. It's kind of not, you know what I mean? At the highest level, when it's being optimized, it's largely not that. And often what you'll see is supports will intentionally, if they think the enemy is smoke ganking, intentionally stand in front of their safe laner, off laner, or mid laner and try to tank a smoke gank. They will literally try to die intentionally. And yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that in a game like Dota, you can die and it can be a good play. Like, that's awesome, but I think it just incentivizes dodging a little bit too much, because it's like, if you smoke as 3, 4, 5 heroes and you get a support kill and that's it, you're griefing the game. I assure you. It's not worth it. It might be good for your team's mental state because it's like, woohoo, we killed someone, but that's about it, which maybe in solo queue is good enough, but all right. So next up, I just want to say I hope they buff a lot of the top low win rate heroes. I personally feel that Valve should take a bit more of a chance with swinging the tides more often. I think it makes an incredibly fun environment where everyone has to test shit out. They have to test new builds because new heroes are good. Old heroes aren't as good, but in general, I really want them to buff low win rate heroes, and then obviously touch up some of the high win rate heroes and, like, bring them down a bit and nerf Wraith Pact or whatever. But people are going to hear this and think, oh, I'm talking about power creep and I want them to power creep. I don't necessarily want them to power creep. I just feel like a lot of the patches don't have a lot of risk in them, right? I haven't read a patch note. That's not true. There's been good patches, and I don't want to say that Valve does a horrible job with patches. I think a lot of the patches have been solid, and a lot of the changes are really intelligent and impact the game in quite positive and cool ways. So this is really not me trying to hate on Valve. I just personally think if I was part of the company and I had to make more of the decisions in terms of nerfs and buffs, I would take a bit more risk every 3-4 months, right? I would say, okay, Broodmother's getting picked like crazy. Okay, let's take her out of the meta for 3 months, right? Not make her unplayable. I'm not saying kill the hero to the point where it's a 30%, 35, 38% win rate hero. I'm not saying that. But just instead of making it a 52, 53, 55, 57% winner hero on Dota 2 Pro Tracker, just, bring it down, right? Bring it down to that 48, 47, 46 level with some changes. It's pretty hard to do that. You're guessing a little bit, but take a bit of risk on that. And then for some heroes I would buff right now, I would buff Nature's Prophet. I'm not biased at all. This is definitely not my favorite hero, and I definitely don't think it should be giga buff to the moon to the point where I win every game no matter what when I'm playing it. No, not that. But Furion, Nature's Prophet, Templar Assassin. I don't see this hero very much, and I think for a good reason. It got nerfed too much and gets destroyed by a certain Scotty carriers, and I don't know, even unit heroes can kind of run it over to some extent. Monkey King, Io, Pugna, Queen of Pain, Dragonite, Rubik, Lion, you don't see a lot of these heroes right now, and it would just be cool to see them, pop in. And what I would be a bit nervous about is I feel like, I don't want to say a lot of the heroes that have been meta 5 months ago are meta right now, but I kind of feel like that's sort of true, you know what I mean? So I would like to see a bit more risk. I don't necessarily know the downside of that, and I would be cautious of power creep, but all right, next is adding a new objective. I'm going to keep this one simple. You've probably heard it a million times. I just think it would be good. Same thing with emphasizing the value of support kills. I think it would be good if Dota put more of an emphasis on having to skirmish with the enemy, get a bit more aggressive, take some more risk. That isn't you take risk in different ways when you're farming. That's why, as I said, Dota's still a beautiful ass game. When people are like, it's a farm game, all it is farming, I'm like, You don't get what farming is. You don't get the intricacies of farming. You do not get it, right? You do not get it, at all. So, it's not that. But I would like to see them add a new objective, just so that let's say at minute 30, right? Roshan's dead for the second time, whatever it is, right? Roshan's dead. One team has Aegis. Maybe they have a bit of an advantage. Oh, actually, this is a better example. They have first Aegis. It's 15 minutes in, they got a pick off, they went Roche. 20 minutes in, you get the point, right? They get their first Aegis. Very often, teams won't push with this. Now, to be fair, I'm referring to the pro scene. In pubs, people typically like to run down mid, kill themselves, and then proceed to flame their teammates. However, assuming you're not doing that, a lot of good teams and good players and players who have learned are stalling the game on first Aegis, but I think it'd be cool to once again incentivize maybe a fight. And there's tons of games that have examples of this. League of Legends, Smite. I've had friends tell me about it, about how they thought these systems were cool. And I think it would be a cool thing to add to Dota, even if it's not permanent. Right? It doesn't have to be permanent. Just something they could add to maybe the towards Radiant Jungle probably, and cause like some more swinging of the map. And finally, this was one I thought of, but I just thought it could be interesting and just change up the early game a little bit, which is changing starting gold to 500 gold or 750 gold. Now I haven't like done the math on this, and honestly, the way a lot of starting items work out right now is very impressive. Like, you'll buy items and you're like, wow, I'm left over with 0 gold or 5 gold or 10 gold. And this is not always the case. Sometimes I have builds that leave like 35 gold, so it's certainly not perfect. But yeah, I just think it would be cool to switch it up, maybe have a little bit less regen early on, less branches, make it harder to do like a wand starting build, something like that. I don't know, it just gives some variety, right? It's just I feel like it's a cool, easy change. No, I haven't thought it through, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Maybe there's more repercussions than I would think, and maybe the, 600, 650 range that's been the case for forever. I don't even know if it's varied now that I'm thinking about it. But I think like it would be cool to change it up just a tad, see how it impacts the game, see what builds come up, see if people start like completing Wraith Bands as their starting item. I think we'd see more of that, see more variation, and it would be really interesting to me. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you agree or disagree with a lot of the things I say, and whatever ideas you have for the upcoming patch, or okay, this is a good question. What hero do you guys want to see buffed in the next patch? What do you want to see? You maybe know my hero. It might be Nature's Prophet. But what do you want to see buffed? A hero, it has to be a bad hero. If you go in the comments and you tell me, I want to see Broodmother buffed. I want to see a Marcy buff. I'm gonna... All right, brother. All right. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.